Okay, so just a little quick thing I just wanted to go over really quickly because I saw a video and it got me thinking. It was about transgenderism, and it just got me thinking how very closely related, like, an extremist religious person is compared to the individuals emotionally affected, especially in that particular movement. So I would say, and not even extremists, just religion or faith in general. I know I already went over this, but I want to go over it again, simply because it is such a good parallel. It's such a good way to, I guess, reflect on just the behavior and the way that each side or each topic relates to our physical reality. So, just getting straight into it, like the video in question, it just it really depicted the behavior of a person who was fighting for trans rights or transgenderism, and the behavior is really, really comparable to a religious person when they're pressed by a person who doesn't believe in anything, atheist or agnostic, whatever. And you're really pressed to show some sort of factual evidence for it. Now, of course, I'm a person of faith. It's mine to have personally to myself and by myself. I don't push it on to anybody else, and all that. But I also know at the same time, simultaneously, that there's no way that I can physically prove it, and thus so it is kind of crazy. But it helps me in a way that's specific to my own experience. So, with that being said, I can kind of see on both sides of this coin. And I just want to say that the behavior shown in that video was really just, it was really like the people were really getting offended on the transgender side, but they didn't really have anything to show for it except a habitual rhetoric that they kept spewing onto the people who were having the conversation on the other side with them. It's just, it was kind of sad at a point, and you don't really see it. Like sometimes if you're on social media and you're going back and forth with somebody in the comment section, depending on which side you are on, you don't really see how that looks in real life, how those arguments look in real life until you have someone who does an interview live out in the open offline like this. And it really is interesting to see it. So, you had a lady who, I guess, whose child was transgender, and she went into talking about it, but she didn't really have it much factual evidence to back up what she was saying. In comparison, the guy who was on the side of, you should leave kids alone, respect children and their their right to grow up and have a natural, proper, what do you call it? Like grow up. There's a word for it. I'll think of it. But that's basically it. He had a lot to back up what he was saying. Very, very, very calm, mild mannered, respectful guy, and he was just. At one point, he said he had a video, and the lady didn't even want to see that, and it's just really sad because it basically looked like a cult. It basically looked like some sort of doctrine that they were subscribing to on the side of the transgender, and that they would not deviate from this, even in the face of facts, even in the face of actual facts and logic, like in the physical, in reality. He said he had the video, and she didn't want to see it. I mean, I really wish that I could be in places like this so I can say something. Like if I was there, I would have asked her, like, why don't you want to see the video? If you are so sure, and if you are so certain, and if you're so, you believe 100% in what you're saying, then why wouldn't you want to watch that video? What would it have to show that could possibly deviate from or take you off of your topic, or completely just make you think that what you're thinking or what you stand for isn't true? What could possibly be in it? I would want to watch it. If I were her, I would want to see, like, what is he talking about? What's the harm of it? There's nothing wrong with researching and looking into things from all angles. There's nothing wrong at all. You become a more intelligent person altogether, and it's really good to not stay so closed up in your one little line of thinking. Like, it was very plain and very obvious to tell that it was all like a basic modern day Jonestown situation, a modern day Heaven's Gate situation. Even the people that pulled her away are a lot of the other people at the end, and they're like, don't, they used the word, but they're basically calling her back, like they don't want him to talk to her anymore. And even the larger guy, he had a lot of attitude. If I'll look for the video, and I'll link the address, the web address, in the bottom of the description of this video. But they just seem to be using, like the guy said at the end, he'd had many arguments with them before, and they just seemed to really block. They could not factually win, or they could not factually tell him why it was a good idea to have children on surgery and hormone blockers to transition so young. They couldn't do it, so the only way they could combat him or defend themselves is to try to stop his argument. And a lot of them did that with attitude. A lot of them did that, just trying to stop what he was saying. Like, he was given some information, and the lady just kept interrupting him, and then at the end she just left. My question is, basically I said it before, but my question again is, if you believe so strongly in what you're saying, what would be the harm in looking at his video? What would be the harm in researching a little bit more to see what the other side is talking about? If you are so correct, if you are so right in what you're saying, what's the harm in that? You're not going to be like, and if you think, oh, they're just going to make me believe what he's saying, then you're basically admitting that what you're involved in is a cult. Same as any religious cult or anything that can't be proven. It's a fantasy. It's a lie. That's it.